That was Nancy Pelosi, February 2020, and that was her at the end of the State of the Union speech being petty as all get out. Today's Nancy Pelosi, August 1st, 2022. Her pettiness is bringing us closer to World War III with China. I'll explain how those two things are related because they certainly are. Hello everyone, this is Keith. Welcome to the Ghetto Sapien channel, your home of inner city intelligence. So like I said, I'm going to show you how Nancy Pelosi's her behavior during the State of the Union speech is related to her behavior now on the world stage. So back in February 2020, Trump is in the middle of being impeached. Nancy Pelosi and Trump were no friends by no means whatsoever, but he needed to make his State of the Union speech. Pelosi gave him a rough time, letting him get a chance to have his, as most people's tradition calls for, to have a State of the Union speech in the House chambers. Now, of course, history, that's kind of recent because for the most part, a State of the Union from the president is just really a letter he just sends to Congress and that's it. But a couple of decades ago, it became normal for presidents to have their State of the Union in the well of the House chambers. So here's what happened. She finally gave in, said, yeah, you can have your speech. And what normally happens is the president comes in, he enters the House chambers, he shakes the hand of the Speaker of the House, he shakes the hand of the Vice President, and he turns his back and he starts his speech. Nancy Pelosi knew this was going to happen, at least she counted on it happening, that she would have the image of the man she's impeaching entering her house and he has to shake her hand. That was an ish test. You know what I mean by ish. Nancy Pelosi strikes me one of those persons who just loves giving guys ish tests. She's probably been doing it all her life. Trump didn't take her ish test. He just turned his back and kept clapping, and her hand was just hanging out there like a limp fish. That drove her nuts. That is what resulted in her tearing up his speech in front of the national audience and the world, looking very petty. This is from Nancy Pelosi being in office so long, and like other politicians, it's not just a job for them. Their position, they own it. It's part of their personality. They take political differences personally, and that's why we run into a situation like this, where she's, instead of being a statesperson and just going, okay, well, you can shake my hand, she did her little, fanfare in front of everybody, tearing up the speech, trying to look like, she's a big girl. But again, it just was embarrassing. So, ish testing. She is an ish tester supreme. And I think that's what's going on in China. I think let me go back. Here's what she did to provoke Xi Jinping, the president of China. Nancy Pelosi announced ahead of time that she was going to go to Japan, Indonesia, I think, correct me on that one, and South Korea, and most important, she's going to go to Taiwan. She'd be the highest ranking American official to visit Taiwan since Newt Gingrich in 97, I believe. We're in kind of a touchy situation with China right now, so that was not necessary. If she felt the need to go to Taiwan, she could have gone in a domestic flight, she could have just gone in and out, she could have even gone just as a U.S. citizen and not trying to represent the United States interests, which is not her position anyway. That's not her place. That's what the president does, to represent the interests of the United States outside of the country. So I don't know what she was doing. Really, she shouldn't be flying out with her entourage. But she is ish testing the president of China. Now with Trump, when she failed, when she didn't get the results he wanted, he just gave her back, he ignored her, he clapped. Xi Jinping's response to her ish test is to threaten her with her own personal missile. Yeah, he's threatening to shoot her plane down. That's some serious stuff. That's like he's basically saying he'll assassinate a United States official. It is no light thing, and it just should bring to light how important this is. And Pelosi's playing with fire. She's putting the United States and China in bad position, and Taiwan is going to be the one to suffer for it, not Nancy. First of all, China's not in the best position right now economically. They're having a housing problem, they're having a banking problem, their economy is looking really bad. Xi Jinping has a lot of internal issues going on in this country. He would love nothing more than to be able to focus this country's attention on something external, like this foreign invader coming into what they consider their own country, Taiwan. The other thing is, under Joe Biden, the United States has never looked weaker. We've abandoned our allies and friends in Afghanistan. We've weakened our own domestic oil supply. Biden has all sorts of ties to China, so he's not too wild about her flying there and embarrassing his boss, Xi Jinping. So, again, not a good time to be poking the bear in China. But Nancy doesn't seem to care. Had she just flown in quietly in a domestic flight, be in and out of there, she would give Xi Jinping at least the opportunity to save face and pretend like he didn't know she was there, but had I knew she was flying in, I would have done such and such. That would have been okay. A little saber rattling would have helped him out probably with his own countrymen. And the United States wouldn't have really harmed for it. But by her giving an ish test that almost dare him to do something, he might end up doing something. Now, the chances of him actually shooting down her plane, I think, are low, and I think everyone knows that. But I think what it's done is it's probably bumped up significantly the time that Xi Jinping is going to invade Taiwan. I think it was a done deal after our pullout in Afghanistan, but I think Nancy Pelosi has accelerated that on that timeline quite a bit, because Xi Jinping is going to have to save face. Something's going to result from her announcing her visit to Taiwan. The damage is already done. Either the United States is going to have to like back her up if she decides to go, or she's going to not go, and it's going to make Xi Jinping look powerful and the United States look even weaker than it is right now. This is a no-win situation for everyone. China's not going to win from this. The United States is not going to come out looking good. And Taiwan, again, is going to be the place to suffer from her pettiness and her ish testing. She would probably be better off if she would have just stayed within the domestic confines of the United States. I don't know, maybe fixed up her own district, which has, human waste all over the place and record high homelessness. She could probably take care of her husband, keep him off the road, and keep people safe. I don't care, make some good stock picks for him. But this is not her place. She should not be trying to project power and represent the United States outside of the country. But that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, share, comment, and subscribe.